Hey everybody, welcome to Ask Dr. Testosterone, starring Dr. George Soulialos and brought to you by his huge book. Look at that size of that thing. The Bible of Bodybuilding 2, everything you need to know about training, nutrition, supplementation, and of course, PED use. And now, please welcome all the way from Athens, Greece, Dr. George Soulialos. Good morning, doctor. Good afternoon for you.
Good afternoon, Ron. Welcome to spring. We have today equal day and night, huh?
So I got the green for spring.
It was St. Patrick's Day, yeah?
Check this out. Look at the new cover.
Wow, who's this? Chris Bump? Yeah.
Yeah, look how big he looks. Yeah. You think he's going to go open? What do you think? Someday?
Well, he can easily do that. But the point is, they say in Greece, better first in the village than fifth in the city.
It's like a big fish in a small pond. Well, I mean, I think he looks perfect. I don't think he needs. If I would, all the young guys I talk to, they want to look like that. They don't want to look like Hadi or Rami or Derek. They want to look like Bumstead and Ramondino, Urs.
Well, Chris Baum is a class on his own. He's much bigger than the rest of the guys in his category. But in off-season, frankly, he looks like a bodybuilder. When he's 10% and bulking up to 60, he's definitely a big dude, huh?
He's not small. He's not small at all.
He's 240 on stage at 3%. But if he bulks and goes from 3% to 10%, at 266, 65, he looks great, you know, like a regular bodybuilder. Yeah. I mean, in the open class.
With smaller waist and smaller joints and everything. He looks great.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Well, first day of spring, first show of spring. Let's get to some questions. Doctor, is it true that when you inject testosterone enanthate, for example, frequently every day, the terminal half-life reduces the blood plasma levels of the drug by 50%? If it's true, is this the reason why everyday injections lead to no elevation of hemoglobin and hematocrit? This is from a gentleman named Kaloyan in Bulgaria.
Well, the reason of the microdosing is to avoid the spike in the two metabolites, estradiol and DHT. And we say that DHT perhaps also refers to the hair thinning, to the prostatic enlargement, to the sex drive, but also to hemoglobin release. So instead of doing a larger dose, a monodose every once a week, then if we break it down to 7 smaller equal doses, then we have less fluctuation, and this reflects also on hemoglobin. Now, the smaller doses we inject, let's say on a daily basis, like we do with the cream, the higher the SHBG. On the contrary, a larger dose will crash on SHBG. What does this mean? A higher SHBG equals a lesser free testosterone. That means, of course, less sex drive, but also less estrogens. So there is a flip side to every coin. And vice versa. When we crash the SHBG, we have more liberation of free testosterone and estradiol and better sex drive, but also we need to take care of the estrogen. So one side does not fit all.
Well, if you have higher estrogen, you can take something like an anastrozole, so you could do that'd be the easiest.
Yeah, moderately, because there's a very delicate point. Some people believe that without an aromatase inhibitor, they have better sex drive, but you cannot let estrogens go sky high, because then you may mess with the duration of the erection. So it's very sweet spot, you know.
Indeed, yeah. Choose your poison, guys. All right, next one. This is a good question. I'm sure we've talked about this before, but I can't remember what you said as far as how to do it. What can I do to clean my androgen receptors? Because they say if you stay on too long, he means, it doesn't work as well.
Androgen. But I don't think there's something you can do officially apart from coming off. You know, so after a point, this the same what happens with pros. They can, of course, you reach your genetic potential, but also your androgen receptors are saturated, like Morgenthaler says, with the prostate. And when you cut off and you come off and you do the PCT protocol without even taking testosterone, then the androgen receptors open up like radars, and they're searching for androgens in the space. That's why then coming off for a while, you assimilate much better, you suck up. But you cannot have both, you know, even stay cruise for years and have the same sensitivity of the receptors.
Yeah. What did we say before? Did somebody say that they thought clenbuterol cleaned out your receptors?
I don't think so. They would say about glutathione, but I don't believe this is for science. It's not just speculation. You know, clenbuterol, perhaps you'll use it post during the PCT. Some people say it's a cortisol blockers. Others, they say also it increased intensity. They believe it has anabolic properties, but frankly, it's a beta-2 agonist. So it's a bronchodilator. Of course, it may stimulate the BMR, but I can understand the mechanism of how clenbuterol can become anabolic and trigger muscle growth, you know?
Yeah, I think that when those studies that showed that it did, they were done with cattle, and it was much higher doses than a human would
Listen, I'll
take.
tell you something. Now, I was blessed to have dinner with the coach of the Hellenic Olympic weightlifting, that he was in direct link with Victor Conte, you know, in getting the stuff. He told me that his weightlifters were using 200 micrograms of clenbuterol a day. I told him, this is crazy. You're going to blow up your head from blood pressure.
Yeah.
He said, I'm sorry, this is how it works. So I guess, yeah, maybe they're right, those bro science rumors that at very high dose, which is extremely risky for blood pressure, you know, because you feel like a cervical pain very nasty over here, that it becomes anabolic.
Yeah.
And also you have extreme tachycardia, palpitations, arrhythmia. All right.
Yeah, 200. So the highest we normally go, people usually will stagger up to like 100, 125 for a male. Maybe I think I've heard
120 equals 6 pills.
Okay.
120.
Yeah,
I think it's the least you can tolerate is 4 pills a day, let's say 80 micrograms. After that, of course, you have some assimilation and saturated the receptors, but you start getting pain over here and over here, you know?
Yeah.
It's very comfortable.
No bueno. All right. So just come off, guys. Come off the steroids. That'll help. It's really the only proven way that we know to get your receptors.
And also, as Rich Piana used to say, change not just the compounds, but also the esters. Go from acetate to hexatrembolone, then to enanthate, then switch from propionate to enanthate or cypionate, you know.
Okay. Well, our next question is about the very longest of testosterone esters, Nebido, the undecanoate. What are your thoughts on microdosing Nebido test undecanoate? Because it's the only pharmagrade ester that I can find in my country, I'm doing one shot of 100 milligrams a week on Friday and one shot of 100 milligrams Sustanon from an underground lab on Monday. But I want to transition fully to Nebido. So I'll be doing 2 shots of Nebido Monday and Friday, considering that Nebido should be injected 4 ml once every few months. Do you think I could get away with 2 shots of 100 milligrams each week? I mean, once it's in your system, it should work, right?
Yes, right. But this takes a lot of time. So I tried Nebido microdosing every day, 25 milligrams. And it took me 2 bottles to reach the levels that I had already with enanthate. So 2 bottles means $200, you know, and perhaps 80 days, because the Nebido, if you do it on microdosing every day, it lasts for 40 days, which is 7 weeks. So it takes at least 2 or 3 months to start developing and reaching the levels that you're supposed to.
What a stupid drug. How dare you,
Very
Nebido?
slow.
That's crazy. 2 months, 7 or 8 weeks to start seeing. Oh my goodness. Horrible, horrible. I don't even know why would they make this.
But then also the good thing about Nebido is that when you cut it, it clears your system in another 2 months.
True. So I guess if you're going away on a vacation, you should take Nebido
Exactly.
2 months before your vacation. I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Next one is, what is your opinion on using nattokinase as a blood thinner? Can it be a substitute to aspirin?
Yeah, well, red rice yeast is joined with nattokinase in some supplements, along also with Q10 from Jarrow supplements from USA. And I think it's a blood thinner, but, you know, as a doctor, I'm a fan of compounds. So you cannot compare supplements with medications, like comparing a Tommy gun with a knife. We know that drugs work. Come on. There's no doubt about it. Right. Supplements assist, okay? But I don't think they can substitute the chemicals.
I mean, that's why we have the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, is always looking for supplements that are using drugs in their products to give you.
But if your stomach bleeds, you can take fish oil with nattokinase as blood thinners.
Oh, okay. Yeah, stomach bleeding. That sounds horrible. Okay, next one comes from a 23-year-old gentleman I met at the Arnold Classic. He is Joseba Iparagulguime. Sorry, Joseba, if I'm mutilating your name. Dr. T, what would you recommend for cycle length for a first-time PED user?
Well, we said that try testosterone, and in first place, try testosterone cream, and then switch to an injectable testosterone along with proviron. And then the next step would be join with nandrolone pharmaceutical grade, or let's say methanolone, which is primo pharmaceutical grade. So use anything which is legitimate, and then take your risks and move to underground labs if you have to compete. Otherwise, stay with that. It's enough.
So he's asking how long should the cycle be? Because in the old days,
Well, I think no more than 8 weeks.
8 weeks, okay.
Yeah, 8 weeks is enough, I think. Don't be paranoid, okay?
52-week cycle. There you go. That would be a whole year. All right. Okay, next one is, hi, I'm on 200 milligrams test per week for the last 5 months. I noticed that my ball size didn't shrink, and also noticed that whenever I take zinc, my libido goes sky high. Does this mean they are still working? I mean, his nuts, I guess, his testicles. Note, I took test in order to become infertile since I have 6 children and I don't want any more. So I'm worried that my balls are still working. Well, you could take a test for that, couldn't you? The spermatogram?
Yeah, exactly. And also zinc is androgen. Perhaps it improves the sperm, the sex drive.
Yeah.
And also zinc improves the endogenous production of testosterone. That's why we take ZMA with PCT, at night.
Yeah.
It's a very basic metal that takes place in numerous of the enzymatic procedures, including the testosterone synthesis.
Yeah. Was Victor Conti, was he the one that really
Yeah, Victor Conti invented the ZMA, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody used to take that at nighttime. I used to take that. But I would say condoms, sir. Try condoms. Those will stop the pregnancy from happening. But
vasectomy,
I had a vasectomy 23 years ago. Oof. And I only had 2 kids, but I didn't want any more. What do you need like 10 kids for these days? I don't have a farm. Question, Dr. T. A few weeks ago, you shared your TRT protocol. You mentioned you take 1 milligram anastrozole a week with 150 milligrams testosterone. How many times per week do you inject, and how often do you take anastrozole? First of all,
well, I'm saying to my patients, if you do 2 doses per week, then cut the half the Arimidex in 0.5 milligrams twice weekly. Okay. If you take a large dose once a week, take the whole milligram of anastrozole the day with the single shot. But frankly, you cannot break it down that tiny pill more than half.
Oh, well. So I get mine from Frontline, right? My anastrozole. I'm supposed to take a quarter of those pills twice a week, and they are so tiny. So I cut it, and then I sort of try to rotate it halfway in the pill thing and cut it again. I do it, but those are tiny. They're like a speck, and I'm like, it's hard. But they don't make them in bigger pills. I asked. That's crazy. But I just want to make sure this gentleman understands anastrozole is a pill. I've never seen an injectable version. Is there one?
No way, no. But I think they can make it in a capsule by manufacturing, so they can put it wherever they want inside.
Like a compounding pharmacy kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I asked her. I said, I'm so sick of, I said to the nurse practitioner, do you know how small these pills are? She says, yeah, a lot of people complain about that. All right. Our last question from another gentleman. Is this the same guy from Bulgaria? Kaloyan Ivanov. Hello, Doc and Ron. I have a question. Is it true that when you inject testosterone, is that the same one? The reason why everyday injections? Yeah, we already answered that. So I do that sometimes. I repeat the same question. So I want to make sure it's the same question. Yeah, that was our first question. So that's it. That wraps it up, Doctor. Yeah, good job. Sorry for the mistake there, Kaloyan from Bulgaria, but thank you for your question. Yeah. So that's it, Doctor. Want to tell everyone, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. If you like the videos, hit that thumbs up button, turn on notifications. We have all kinds of great content on this channel we want you to check out. And of course, support the doctor. Most of the questions you guys ask, a lot of them are in this book. If you just read the book, I promise you 90% of all the questions you ask are in there. It's a quick read. There's tons of pictures. Check out the Bible of Bodybuilding 2. And that's it. We thank you, Doctor, every week for helping the people around the world for one of the only medical doctors I know on this planet with your level of firsthand experience and experience dealing with patients who have used PEDs and athletes and bodybuilders. So great job, and thank you so
Do you
much.
have any news now, an update? When is the first show of the year after the Arnold Classic, the next?
Yeah, New York Pro, May 14th.
Oh, I think it's the FIBO on April.
Oh, do they? I don't think they have open. Do they have open
No,
men?
no.
No open bodybuilding. They might have 212. Yeah. Do you
Okay.
usually go to FIBO every year?
Oh, well, Panata will invite me for sure.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, I've never been. All these
By
years.
the way, Big Ramy now is in Italy shooting with Panata.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
he
we
did
heard.
Alex Ardenti shooting also.
Awesome.
And I have to tell you, Ron, he was using the machine for triceps and biceps. Man, as he was flexing, his left triceps looks smaller, huh?
Yeah, it still hasn't come back. I don't know if
But
the
listen, man,
sun's
you don't lose a saw out of arms. You know, even Lee Haney, it was not his best body part. All Dorian Yates.
Dorian won. He won his last
Yes,
4 Olympias with one bicep.
exactly.
So, yeah. We actually know Panada because Panada sponsors Muscular Development. We thank you, Rudy. And they are shooting Rami, and they're actually going to do a little interview with them. And we're going to put that in the magazine as a part of Panada, an advertisement for Panada. But he's going to be featured in there. So I'm very excited. And Alex Ardenti, I just saw Alex at the Arnold. I hadn't seen him in years.
Me too. I mean, I was surprised because he was not there last year and he was this year.
He's in great shape still. He's like 60.
Yeah, man, he's 58. He's big, huh?
Yeah, still has all his hair. Look at this guy. It's like you. The Mediterranean diet. Yeah, I should have followed that. Anyway, all right, doctor, thank you so much. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you right here again next week on Ask Dr. Testosterone. Hey, did you like that video? Smash that like button, subscribe to MD, and please comment down below. Thanks for watching.